Commons says that Donald Trump should not be invited to speak to the House of Commons, to Britain's Parliament. Listen to this for a moment, Nigel.
As far as this place is concerned, I feel very strongly that our opposition to racism and to sexism and our support for equality before the law and an independent judiciary are hugely important considerations in the House of Commons. I am even more strongly opposed to an address by President Trump in Westminster Hall.
Now, I'll get to Nigel in a moment. On the left-hand side of your screen, you see Vice President Mike Pence arriving on Capitol Hill. He's going to go straight into the Senate chamber, where he will cast the deciding vote, which makes Betsy DeVos the Education Secretary. You're watching a little history here. I don't know how many years it's been since a Vice President had to cast the deciding vote in a nomination process. In fact, I'm told it's never happened before. Never happened before. History. You're watching a little history in this live-action presidency, live-action news. There it is. It's happening. He's going to the Senate. He will cast his vote momentarily. As you're watching that, let me get back to Nigel. We just heard the Speaker of the British House of Commons, Nigel, say Donald Trump, President Trump, not welcome here. Does he represent any sizable chunk of British opinion?
There's a bigger point than that, if I may, that as Pence goes in to vote, that is democracy in action. But for democracy to work, you have to have arbiters. And the Speaker of the House of Commons, going back to the 1200s, has always been neutral. That is the job of the Speaker. What Bercow did yesterday was to breach those bonds of neutrality, to insult the President of the United States of America, and to be the biggest hypocrite I've ever seen in my life. This man had the North Koreans for tea in his apartment. They're okay, and Trump is not. He is a disgrace, and he represents a minority view in my country, I'm pleased to say.
But it does mean that President Trump will probably not address the British House of Commons, because the Speaker can say no, and he did say no.
Well, there's been a change this afternoon. So Lord Fowler, who is the chairman and the Speaker of the House of Lords, has managed to get John Bercow to apologise for him, because he can't speak for one house. If the President comes, he would speak to both houses, the Commons and the Lords together. And the Speaker of the Lords has got Bercow to apologise, not for insulting Trump, but for misusing procedure. And the Speaker of the House of Lords says he's open-minded, so maybe the game is back on. But frankly, the sooner we're rid of a Speaker like this, the better. I have to say, in previous times, a Speaker who behaved like this would have been dealt with very robustly indeed.
I see that it is live-action news on both sides of the Atlantic, and we're right in the middle of it. Nigel Farage, right here. Nigel,